Good morning, student. This is Arvind Dobrial, and you all are welcome to the e-learning portal of Cambridge International School, Daswa. Dear students, we are reading the supplementary reader, that is Footprints Without Feet, and the chapter that we will discuss today is The Thief's Story, written by Ruskin Bond. Before starting this story, let's have a quick recap of the sermon at Banaras that we have read in our previous video. Gautam Buddha was born in a North Indian royal family. He was born as a prince. Moreover, his childhood name was Siddhartha Gautam. He was sent to a faraway place to study Hindu sacred scriptures at the age of 12. Then, upon returning after 4 years, he got married to a princess. Soon they both were blessed with a son. Then they continued to live the royal life for about 10 years. The royals were shielded from unpleasant experiences of the world. However, one day on his way to hunt, the prince met a sick man, an aged man, a funeral procession, and a monk who was begging for. Such experiences acted as an eye opener for him. Hence, he left all the royalty behind to seek a higher sense of spiritual knowledge. Then, when he attained the salvation, he began preaching. There was a lady whose name was Kisa Gautami, whose son had died. She was suffering from unending pain. Thus, she went from house to house looking for medicine to make her son alive. People thought that the lady had lost her senses. However, one day she met a man who directed her towards Lord Buddha. He felt that Buddha could possibly have a solution for her problem. Then Buddha asked her to look for mustard seed, and the seeds must be procured from a house where no death had been occurred. Filled with hope, Kisa Gautami once again went on a search from house to house, but she could not find mustard seeds from a house according to Buddha's condition. Thus, she was disheartened and sat at the edge of the road, where she realized how selfish she had been. She realized the fact that men are mortal, and also no one could escape the cycle of life. This was the only fact that Buddha wanted her to understand. According to Lord Buddha, feelings of grief and sorrow increases man's pain and suffering. It serves no other purpose. Moreover, it deteriorates the health of a person. Thus, a wise person who is fully aware of nature's functioning must not grieve at something bound to happen. Now, after the quick recap, let's move on to the story, The Thief's Story, written by Ruskin Bond. First of all, I would like to tell you the objectives of the chapter. To enable you to enrich your vocabulary, to enable you to read the lesson in proper intonation, to enable you to understand the thief's behavior with the unknown people, to enable you to know how a person can motivate others to change his nature, to enable you to understand importance of education. Now, first of all, I would like to tell you something about the author Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond was born on May 19, 1934 at Kasoli, Punjab States Agency, British India. He lives with his adopted family in Mussoorie, India. The Indian Council for Child Education has recognized his role in the growth of children's literature in India. He was awarded the Sahitya Akademi Award in 1992 for Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra, his novel in English. He was awarded the Padma Shri in 1999 and the Padma Bhushan in 2014. Ruskin Bond was born to Edith Clark and Aubrey Alexander Bond. His father taught English to the Princess of Jamnagar Palace, and Ruskin and his sister Ellen lived there till he was 6. Later, Ruskin's father joined the Royal Air Force in 1939, and Ruskin, along with his mother and sister, went to live at his maternal home in Dehradun. Shortly after that, he was sent to a boarding school in Missouri. When Bond was 8 years old, his mother separated from his father and married a Punjabi Hindu. His father arranged for Ruskin to be brought to New Delhi, where he was posted. He completed his schooling from Bishop Cotton School in Shimla, from where he graduated in 1950. He won several writing competitions in his school level. He wrote one of his first short stories, Untouchable, at the age of 16 in the year 1951. Most of his works are influenced by life in the hill stations at the foothills of the Himalayas, where he spent his childhood. His first novel, The Room on the Roof, was written when he was 17 and published when he was 21. It was partly based on his experiences at Dehradun in his small rented room on the roof and his friends. Ruskin Bond said that while his autobiographical work, Rain in the Mountains, was about his years spent in Missouri, scenes from a writer's life described his first 21 years. Scenes from a writer's life focuses on Bond's trip to England, his struggle to find a publisher for his first book. The name of that book, The Room on the Roof, and his yearning to come back to India. Being a writer for over 50 years, Bond experimented with different genres. Early works include fiction, short stories, novella, and some being autobiographical. Later, he tried out non-fiction, romance, and books for children. He said his favorite genre are essays and short stories. Ruskin Bond's The Thief's Story is more than a thief's story. The story deals with basic human values and relationships. It is easier for a thief to rob a greedy man. It is difficult even for the thief to rob a careless and honest man. Hari Singh did steal Anil's money, but he could not run away with it. He had no friends because he regarded them to be trouble than help. The only person he really knew was the man he had robbed. Moreover, Anil was ready to educate Hari Singh. The thief's conscience pricked him. He came back to Anil and crept to his bed. He slipped the money under the mattress from where he had stolen it a few hours ago. Now, the introduction of the story. The Thief's Story has been written by Ruskin Bond. The story has a simple plot with important message. There is a small-time thief who befriends a struggling author in the plans of making a steal. Anil, the struggling author, is a good fellow who wants to teach Hari Singh how to read and write. Gradually, Anil develops trust in Hari Singh, but Hari Singh has been waiting for the right moment to make a killing by doing what he is best at. After stealing money from Anil, Hari Singh tries to go away forever, but some inner voice stops him from doing so. He returns to Anil because he wants to live a life of respect. Anil does not show that he knew about the incident and accepts Hari Singh with his open arms. Now, the explanation part of the story. The story starts from the point where the two main characters of the story meet, Anil and the thief. The thief is the narrator of the story. The thief says that according to him, he was pretty good in stealing. Anil was watching a wrestling match when the thief approached him. Anil was a tall, lean, and an easygoing man of 25 years of age. The thief had not committed any theft in the past few days as he did not get a chance. He thought that Anil would be a good man to steal things from. So he thought about getting comfortable with him. Then the thief commented on Anil that he looks like a wrestler himself. Anil replied that even the thief looked like a wrestler, which offended him as he was very thin at that time. The thief modestly replied that he did wrestle a bit. Anil asked his name, and the narrator lied that his name was Hari Singh. The narrator used to change his name every month to escape the police and his ex employers. Then they started talking about the well oiled wrestlers whom they watched on the screen. The narrator did not have much to say as he did not know much about wrestling. As Anil was leaving, the narrator again approached him by asking him that he wanted to walk with him. The narrator approached him with the most appealing smile that he could. Anil told him that he won't be able to pay him for his work. Hari Singh had not expected this reply and thought to himself that he had misjudged Anil as he had thought that Anil had a lot of money. The narrator then asked if he could feed him, to which Anil instantly asked if Hari could cook. Hari lied again and said yes. Anil replied that if Hari could cook, then he could feed him. Both of them went to Anil's room, which was above the Jumna sweet shop. Anil also told Hari that he could sleep in the balcony. The narrator said that the meal he cooked must have been a terrible one as Anil had to give it away to a stray dog. Then he told Hari Singh to go and sleep, but Hari Singh decided to stay for a while. Hari's smile was so appealing that Anil could not stop laughing looking at him. After some time, Anil patted on Hari's head and told him that he would teach him to cook. He also told him how to write his name and told him that he would soon teach him to write sentences and the numbers. Hari was grateful for what Anil had planned for him because he knew that there would be no limit of his work once he knew how to write. Hari enjoyed working for Anil. He used to make tea for him in the morning and then used to go out to buy some groceries for the day. He would also keep 1 rupee in his pocket every day from the money that Anil used to give him for the daily groceries. The author further says that Anil did not have any regular income as he used to earn money by doing different activities. He did not have any fixed job. The narrator says that Anil used to be worried about his paychecks all the time, but as soon as he would receive a check, he would go out with his friends and celebrate. The narrator thinks that he used to write for magazines. The narrator also thinks it to be a strange way to make money. Then suddenly one evening Anil came home with some money and told Hari that he had just sold a book to a publisher. Before going to bed, Anil put the money under his mattress and Hari saw him putting the money there. Hari thought that he had been working for Anil for almost 1 month and he had not cheated him apart from 1 rupee that he had used to take daily. The narrator also thinks that he had every chance to steal as Anil had given him the key of his room and he could come and go whenever he wished to do so. Hari had been trusted upon by Anil the most. Hari had not been trusted upon by anyone else in his life. This was the only thing that stopping Hari from stealing, as Hari thought that it is easy to rob a greedy man because he has the capability or the money to get robbed, and he knows about what he has lost. But for a careless or an honest man like Anil, there was no use to steal, as they sometimes don't even know that they are robbed. Then Hari decided that he would start with some work. He had not robbed anyone for a long time. He also justified his act of stealing Anil's money by telling himself that if he did not steal it, then also Hari would waste it on his friends. He also thought that he had a right over the money, as Anil did not even pay him for his work he used to do for him. Now I am going to conclude what we have read today. The story is about two different people. One is the thief of 15 years of age, and the other is a man of approximately 25 years watching a wrestling match somewhere. The name of the person watching the match is Anil. The thief approaches Anil and starts talking to him because he feels that he had not robbed anyone in the past few days and thought that it would be easy to rob a simple person like Anil. They both start talking and Anil asks the thief his name. The thief introduces himself as Hari Singh. This is not his real name, as he changes his name every month to escape his ex employers or police. Then they started talking about the wrestlers. When Anil was leaving, Hari Singh called him again and asked him if he could work for Anil. Anil said that he won't be able to pay him but could feed him if he knew how to cook. Hari lied that he knew how to cook. Anil took Hari to his room, which was above a sweet shop. Hari cooked a meal which was really bad because Anil did not eat it. Anil asked Hari to leave, but he tried to please Anil. Hari smiled in his most attractive way, and Anil could not stop laughing looking at him. Anil agreed to teach Hari how to cook, write full sentences, and add numbers. The narrator used to like working for Anil, as he used to make him tea in the morning and then go out to buy the groceries for the day. He also used to steal 1 rupee from the money that was given to buy some groceries every day. Anil knew that he used to steal, but he did not mind. One day, Anil came in with a bundle of notes and told Hari Singh that he had sold a book to a publisher. At night, he kept the money safely under the mattress of his bed. Hari realized that he had been working for Anil for more than a month and had not stolen anything apart from 1 rupee that he kept every day from the grocery money. Hari had many chances to steal, as he had the key of the room as well. But he was surprised with the amount of trust Anil had on him, and he had never seen such a trusting person in his life. This trust was preventing him from robbing Anil, as Hari thought that robbing a careless person like Anil did not make much difference because he might not even notice that he had been robbed. Then he thought of stealing Anil's money and justified himself that if he did not steal the money from Anil, then also he would waste it on his friends, and also Anil did not pay him for his work that he did for him. Now, on the basis of your understanding the chapter, there are some questions for you. I hope you will do all these questions by yourself. So, till the next class we meet, take care of yourself and keep studying.